Because we internalize instead of reacting outwardly, i.e., talking, people might think we're indifferent or disengaged. Welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner. Today, we're going to talk about internalization. Have you ever had a 5-second awkward moment that haunts you for 5 years? I have, and I'm sure you probably have too. Let's talk about why introverts internalize so much. What is internalization? Internalization is when we process experiences deeply within ourselves. For introverts, this is like, well, it's kind of like breathing. It's how we make sense of the world, but it can be a double-edged sword. There are plenty of reasons why introverts internalize. However, today we're just going to go over 5. Some examples of internalizing are, first one is replaying conversations. How many times have you left a meeting, work or otherwise, and spend the next hour wondering if your tone sounded rude or if that one comment was a subtle jab? I'm usually quiet in staff meetings, but if there's something that will directly impact me that I feel strongly about, they hear my voice. And because of that, because of my direct approach, I usually walk away from the meeting wondering if I came across harsh or rude because I'm very like just monotone to the point and it's like boom. Number 2 is absorbing others' feelings. When a friend is upset, we don't just listen. No, why would we just do that? We feel their pain. We pack it in a suitcase and carry it around like it's our own. We don't mean to. That's just how it is. I am sometimes a sounding board for family, friends, acquaintances, sometimes even strangers. It is natural for me to process the emotions of others so deeply that I can feel like it's my own burden, which I will tell you is very draining. The next one is over preparing. Before a big event, you rehearse every possible scenario in your head, even though 95% of them will never happen. Never. Let's use a job interview for an example. There have been times when I have studied like I was preparing for the CPA exam, rehearsing every single possible question that I believe will be asked. Even ones they're unlikely to ask, like, how would you survive a zombie apocalypse? I've also visualized every potential reaction from the interviewer, their facial expression, their nodding in agreement, and also the blank stare. I hate the blank stare. The fourth example is reading between the lines. Someone says something like, let's talk later. You spend a whole entire day wondering, what did I do wrong? What is it about? What in the world could they possibly want to talk about that we can discuss right now? I mean, the energy spent trying to figure out the who, the what, the how, the when, the where, the why, the how. Ah! Reading between the lines. Number 5, avoiding immediate reactions. Instead of responding to criticism on the spot, you go quiet, analyze it for hours, and think of the perfect comeback. 3 days later, of course. This is a frequent occurrence. Just last week, someone at work said something that was, well, to me, it was offensive. I wasn't in a position to respond at the moment, but trust and believe for days, I replayed the comment in my head over and again, thinking of all the things that I could have said. It was truly a good thing that I couldn't respond at the time because my knee-jerk reaction would probably have got me in trouble. Because when I replay the conversation in my head, I think of all the possible responses that I could have given. None of them would have been nice. But the reality of it is, what they say wasn't nice. So therefore, are we expected to be nice if they're not nice? I mean, so tell me, what's something that caught you off guard that you've been overthinking about recently? Let's laugh about it below in the comments. So, all that being said, there are some upsides of internalization. Yes, there are. For instance, thoughtfulness. Internalizing allows us to think deeply before acting, which makes us pretty good at giving advice and making well considered decisions. Number two, empathy. Because we process emotions so deeply, we often understand others' feelings, even when they don't even say a word. Sometimes we can just pick up on stuff because we can see. Number three, creativity. Internalization fuels creativity. Many writers, artists, and innovators are introverts who turn their thoughts into something beautiful. And the next is growth oriented. We tend to reflect on our actions and learn from them, making us better versions of ourselves over time. Now, please comment below and let me know if any of these situations resonate with you. So, of course, if there are upsides, there are definitely downsides of internalization. And the first one is overthinking. This is what we do. We are pros at overthinking. We tend to get stuck replaying past mistakes or obsessing over what others think of us, leading to unnecessary stress and energy waste. Now, while I will say that I have evolved to a space where caring what others think of me is not a thing anymore, I still do overthink a lot about things like what do I need to do? How do I need to do it? When do I need to do it? Blah, blah, blah. It's just a thing. Another downside is emotional overload. Absorbing everyone else's feelings can leave us feeling, well, drained or even anxious. There are times when I upload their feelings and have no way of downloading it. I sometimes share some things with mom, but only bits because of the client patient confidentiality. Seriously, though, sometimes I'm exhausted to the point where I don't even want to talk to anyone. I mean, it takes some time to recharge when you're drained. So I just stay quiet. I stay in quiet mode until my energy is replenished. The next one is procrastination. Spending too much time analyzing can make us hesitate or even avoid acting altogether. For instance, if I'm invited to an event that I hem and haw over whether or not I want to attend or not, bearing in mind the RSVP date, I consider the RSVP date, telling myself that I have until that time to figure it out. By the time I make up my mind, it's too late. Or even post it on social media. I have tons of photos and videos in my phone. Some that I take and I'm like, okay, I'm going to post this today. But what do? I procrastinate. I procrastinate wondering the caption, the hashtags, the timing. Then I decide it's too late. As if anyone is going to know or even care much about the content or whether or not it's late. They don't know. The next one is misunderstood silence. We all feel this. Because we internalize instead of reacting outwardly, i.e., talking, people might think we're indifferent or disengaged, which is like so far from the truth. The silence is time for us to recharge. Sometimes we just don't feel like talking. That's a lot of energy, people. I don't have to be in a quiet room or under a blanket to recharge. I can perform duties, albeit slowly, chores and all of that, while I recharge. I just don't have enough energy to talk. There have been times when I speak to no one in this house for a day and I'm fine with it. The next day, we're good. There were times when my silence was indeed misunderstood. And even though you say I'm fine, they don't because of the fact that they see how I am, they don't see fine. But there's no other way that we can tell you that we're fine. We just want to sit and relax and chill and not talk. There have been times when mommy and I can be in the living room, on the couch, on either end, and not talk. Once upon a time it might have been a little bit uncomfortable, but now we have an understanding and we're good. We're in a good place. So this is all a part of the whole understanding introverts. If you get my book, Unlock the Introverts, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts, I talk about that. I talk about giving introverts the space to just be, to just, be off on their own and to recharge. Let me know in the comments below, which one of these can you relate to the most? All, some, none? So navigating internalization can simply be practicing self-compassion. Remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody is analyzing you as much as you are. Set boundaries. If you're absorbing too much of others, step back and prioritize your emotional well-being. This is a huge step. Always, always remember that self-care is the utmost importance. Journal it out. Writing your thoughts can help you organize them and let go of what doesn't serve you. Sometimes there's too much going on in here, and sometimes when you write it down, it helps. Write in a notebook, on stickies, or even record it in your phone. Writing is therapeutic. Shift focus. Ask yourself, will this matter to me next week? Hmm? If the answer is no, move along. Sometimes it's hard, but get into the habit of just moving things along so that it's not sitting with you. Talk it out. Sometimes saying your thoughts out loud, whether to a trusted friend, person, whatsoever have you, or to yourself, can help to break the cycle of overthinking. Internalization is what makes introverts wise, creative, and empathetic. Embrace it and don't let it weigh you down. Remember, your superpower is also your choice. Can you relate to these internalization moments? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you tend to overthink the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend or an introvert who might need to get this reminder. And please, if you have not done so already, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on more content about us, about wonderful introverts. Thank you, and I will see you the next time.